what's up? Rob, bear with me for a second. We are here at the ETC. It's Thursday, and we are on Facebook and Instagram going live right now at the same time. I'm about to talk to my friend Josh Hansjörg with Be More Caring, and he runs a great organization, a local nonprofit that does a lot with homelessness in Baltimore City and Anne Arundel County, which is actually where I live now. And he wanted to talk a little bit about City Fam and home and what we do. And I needed to do a vlog anyway because I'm kind of behind. We've been grinding really hard in the middle of this membership campaign, so we figured we'd kill two birds with one stone. We're gonna talk to Josh, who's right behind me.
Hey guys, how you doing?
And we're gonna update everybody on what's happening with home at the end of this video. So if you watch it till the end, I'll tell you everything that's going on. We're bringing the campaign to a close, and that's it. So this is my good friend Josh Hansjörg.
Hey guys, and this is my friend Rob.
What's up?
So this is going to be super weird to try to figure out, but we really wanted to get this information out as much as we can.
Yes.
So Rob, tell me, how long have we known each other?
So for everybody watching, Josh and I used to go to high school together. I was in a Christian school for a couple years. We went to a school called Calvary Chapel together, which I quickly got expelled from. And
that's what I'm doing wrong.
Oh wait, you can't do it during.
Can't do it while you're doing. Oh.
And yeah, so we've known each other, I guess, about 27 years, 28 years.
Yeah, it's getting close to 30, I think.
Yeah, close to 30 years.
Yikes.
So yeah, Josh, like I said, he runs Be More Caring. You guys may have seen that. They're a great organization. Actually, just tell people what you do first.
Oh, sure.
On my channel.
So sorry you guys are having to see this because you already hear me blah, blah, blah so much. But what we do is we empower the community to go out and make a difference in their local community. So we bring in people on a weekly basis and kind of do a quick training, quick education, and then take them out and help them to feed homeless people. So we feed, we give them clothes, we give them toiletries and things of that nature. And those are really tools to get to the person, because what we found is you know, everybody wants food and everybody needs food. That's not like it's not important. But what they really want is love, and what they really want is connection. So often we hear when we're leaving, you guys, thank you so much for the food. We really appreciate it. But what we really like is you guys spending time with us and you guys talking. We all have a need for love. You know, even that guy on the corner that we're passing every day that is not showered in a month, like he's got a need for love, and that's part of what we do is try to reach in there and love him.
That's awesome. So he had a great story how he started the organization. You don't mind if I share?
Oh, sure, yeah.
So he was driving Uber a few years ago, and he just was going out and taking homeless people like supplies, like food, sleeping bags, whatever else. And then I think Shine FM caught wind of it, and I know they were mentioning you on the air.
Somebody told us about. Yeah, somebody told on us, and it was really cool. It really started out as just something that I thought I was supposed to do, and then I realized it was something I was supposed to help other people do too.
Right.
So we ended up, you know, taking it from my trunk out to like a full setup. It's really something. If you guys want to, check out BeMoreCaring.com. We'd love to get you plugged in and show you the ropes and help you.
Yeah, so we're gonna do some stuff. City Fam is gonna do something with them soon. We'll be partnering on some type of outreach program. But it's funny when you hear people that started nonprofits. A lot of times they were just scratching an itch or a problem that they saw, and then it turns into something. So sometimes I'll have people come to me and they'll say, well, how do I start a nonprofit? And it really is just a matter of like, go help somebody. What's the problem that you see that you feel like needs to be fixed? Go fix that, and then eventually resources come, or at least that's what I'm hoping for.
I think I think tell me if this rings a bell, but I feel like a lot of times we tend to think people see everything that we see, and that's often not true. It's just us, it's just you that's seeing what you're seeing. So if you're in a situation and you're looking and go, man, look at that, that's heartbreaking, there's a real good chance that you're the only one that's thinking that way. That's because you're designed to go out and make a difference, which is what Rob's doing.
Trying.
Yeah, he is. So, I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but do you remember, I guess it would have been maybe 5 years after we graduated, we were in Glen Burnie, right on the edge of Brooklyn Park, and me and Scott ran into you. Do you remember that?
You told me that story.
But you don't remember, do you?
I don't remember.
So I'm in this convenience store, and Rob comes in, and I swear, he's wearing spandex. He's got like a tank top on. He's all diesel. I'm like, what in the world happened to you? I think there might have been a fanny pack involved. Does that sound familiar?
I resemble that remark.
I had one too.
I don't think it
back
was
in the day.
spandex. It wasn't spandex. I didn't wear spandex. But, I was a stripper, and he ran into me at a convenience store, and I was probably in between shows, and I don't even know what I was wearing. But
the funny thing is I didn't find out about that until much later. So when Rob and I first started hanging out, I'd introduce him to some of my friends, and they'd be like, oh, hey, I know you. And it was real awkward, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then he's like, I used to be a stripper. And I'm like, oh, that person saw you. That's why they couldn't figure out what to say. But God has done amazing stuff in your life. And
thanks, man.
It's really something, because you'd never know that was part of your story.
Yeah.
But so hey, listen, tell me about the whole aspect of addiction. Right now, it's out of control. I mean, how many people do you see on a weekly basis posting about their friends and, either ODing or just in a jam?
Sure.
Or
Absolutely.
One day I woke up this past week, and it was two of my friends that had said, we lost somebody to this.
Yeah.
It's more and more. What are you seeing?
Yeah. I mean, so it's obviously a big part of our story is, fighting the battle of, battling addiction, because a lot of my friends I used to party with and in the clubs, they, we used to party together. We used to use drugs, and a lot of them still are involved in that scene, or they just never made it out, and they're dying young. I shared something. I had something pop up on my Facebook memories not that long ago, and I was looking through the comments, and 3 of the people that commented are dead to drugs. Gosh. Eric DeCastro, Mike Hammond, and Scott Hierstetter, who went to Epic. 3 of the guys in the post that commented died. And it's sad, because I feel like the way that we're coming at it, and this is why I really wanted to kind of do a vlog, is because we're in the middle of a membership campaign for Home right now. We're trying to get in this building, which I believe firmly is going to fix a lot of these issues. So the fact that we're talking about it, I think, is appropriate. But I went to a conference, a seminar with the DEA, a former DEA agent, and they shared the stats on the opioid epidemic, and everybody knows it's bad. But the one stat that stood out to me was the Vietnam War, over the course of 25 years, killed 50,000 Americans. Last year, opioids killed 60,000 Americans in 1 year. And it was whoa, that is crazy. He's like, it's impacting everyone. He's like, you might not know it, but it's impacting everyone. Every business, every family is being impacted by this. We lost a friend not that long ago, another guy, I don't want to mention his name, but a guy I went to, that came into the church sporadically, and, he 20 some years old, maybe 30, and died. And to us, the answer, at least City Fam, we believe that the answer is community. Yeah. Getting people into healthy community. And it's not something that somebody at the top can do, like the police can't do it, or the government, or they can't do it. It's all of our responsibility. It's everybody has to be involved in that, which to us means putting together events that give people opportunities to have fun without regret, give them chances to give back, serve, because everybody's got it hardwired in them to serve. And then when they do that, they form friendships, and you can be like a support system for each other. We all have to kind of, do that. That's what City Fam is trying to do. And that's why I make so many videos about it, because I'm super passionate about it, because I was an addict, and how I got out was I found healthy community through church. Number one, Jesus, saved me. I wouldn't be here without him, but I still would have gone back, even knowing that Jesus was the Son of God and being a Christian. I still would have gone back to my bad behavior without that support group. The problem is most people won't go to church, right? They won't find healthy community there. They damn sure ain't going to go to a 12-step program until everything falls apart. Right. And there's just so many people, even after they do go to a 12-step program, they can't manage the lifestyle because it's not manageable. It's not fun. It's like just white knuckle the shit out of it and hope for the best, because you're used to going out, having a social life, being in the bars, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I can't drink anymore. Now what do I do? Who do I even hang out with? You stay in for a while. That might work for a little while, But after a while, you get bored and you get lonely, and then you go back to the bars and you start picking up your bad habit. Or you get on Tinder or a dating site, you impregnate a person, or they impregnate you, and it's the wrong person because you were lonely, and now you got a baby's mama for the next 18 years and your life's all jacked up. That's the real deal stuff that happens.
It's what we see. It's what we see a lot of times. And so when Rob first started kind of coming out of, you guys know this, but when Rob started coming out of this, he started looking around. He's like, man, this really sucks. This is super boring. So he started putting on events and pulling in people. And what was happening, although I don't know if you knew it at the time, but as people were coming clean and breaking free, it was the connection and it was the love that pulled everybody together and pulled them out of it. So I think one of the things that I want us all to make sure we're so aware of is first of all, when you're dealing with addiction, you have got to just love the person. There's enough people in their life that's judging them. They're judging themselves. They're always constantly like talking about how they're not hitting the bar. They know that. So just love them. And then number two, try to connect them, try to pull them in. So what CityFam does is they put on these events and they pull everybody in and they make them part of a big family. And you know, you look and you see gangs and you wonder, well, why are they part of that gang? Because they're connected.
Community. Because
it's community and their family. And so what I wanted my people with Be More Caring to be exposed with too is just the aspect of what you guys are doing and how it's working. Tell us about Rat Park.
Yeah. So there was a study they did a few years. Well, it was actually back in the 70s. But there's a TED talk where he references it. It's called The Opposite of Addiction Isn't Sobriety. The opposite of addiction is connection. And he talks about how we're meant to connect with each other. And when we don't connect with each other, we'll connect with something else, whether it be substances, gambling, sex, porn. It could be a variety of things. When you don't have healthy community, you'll connect with something unhealthy. So they did this study with these rats where they put them in cages one after the other. And after a while, they took this water that had been laced with heroin or cocaine, and they put it in the cage. And what they found was 9 out of the 10 rats went over and drank the water until they overdosed and died. They took other laboratory rats and they put them in a cage with each other together, and they put in a little park called, they put a maze in there called a rat park. They let them play around, establish some social dynamics, and then they put the water in the cage. And only 3 out of the 10 rats tried it, and none of them drank till they overdosed. And because they had community, they had other things to do. And this is what I try to explain to people. So where CityFam really comes at the angle different is we organize social events. For us, that's the entry point. Fun without regret. They're used to having fun with regret because they haven't been given an opportunity to have fun without regret, maybe, which takes planning. So we plan those things for them. We invite them to it. They get around people, you know, that are healthy or getting healthy, and then we get them volunteering. We give them an opportunity to give back and go make a difference in their community because, you know, most people want to do that. They just don't know how to start. And then when you see people, once they start giving back, they're around some healthy people, they have other things to do besides, you know, getting high or drinking or going to the bar on the weekends. Now they're able to make the changes, and that's and this really just came from me figuring it out as I went, because I came out of that life and I was like, okay, don't have substances or girls as options for fun anymore, so what do I do? And I was like, wow, this is a problem. So that for us was you know, that really is what we're doing.
Yeah. And I think I had a very similar experience too. Like, I wasn't a cool drunk, I was a dorky drunk. My whole goal on the weekend was to get as drunk as I could. I can remember I got laid off. They downsized my company. Another manager took my store, and I went to Ocean City with friends, and this was probably a really low point, but I remember being drunk by 11 a.m. Like, fall down on the floor, barf your guts out drunk. But for me, it was a period of probably 2 or 3 years where I was running from stuff that I couldn't deal with, and I was an alcoholic, and the weekends were for drinking and they were for getting drunk. And when I stopped, I crash landed into my friend's apartment. They're newlyweds, and we literally spent every Friday, if not every Friday and Saturday, but every Friday in their apartment in Linthicum, and then they moved to Millersville. And I loved these people to death, but I was used to fun, excitement, flashing, you know, all this stuff, and all of a sudden I'm in a living room with like mauve wallpaper, and I'm like looking around, I'm like, this is the worst thing ever. But it's the only thing I knew to do. Like, it was literally the only thing I knew to do, and I needed my friends like care for me to help pull me out of it.
Yeah.
And it was really what made the difference. So when I look at what you're doing, and when I look, the grander picture, you've got a big picture. There's a lot of things that you hit that aren't just focused on this, but there is a very big, very real aspect to what you're doing that is just providing a place for family. And I can't even think of who wouldn't need that. Even if you've got a good family, you need friends, you need support, you need people system in your life. Yeah. So what about what you're doing is really exciting right now?
Thanks. And just something that you said, like when I turned it around back in 2011. So I've done a 180 twice, but the second time I turned around back in 2011, I got linked up with Chris Lockamy from Epic, who works with Josh, who's the pastor over there. And I was like, look, I told him, I was like, I'm going to stick to you like glue. And I was literally at little kids' birthday parties. And, I'm a grown-ass man, but that's how desperate I was to change. And I'm like, if their City Fam had existed, it would have made the road so much easier. And that's what we're trying to do, is just we're trying to make it easy for people to get out of their rut, whatever it is. It's not just alcohol and drugs. Lots of people in City Fam drink, and they don't have a problem with it. But if you're not connected, if you don't have healthy community, you have an issue. You might, and maybe you don't know what it is, but you have something if you don't have a healthy community of people around you. And that's what we're really trying to give people. And we're trying to make it fun. That's why we push the envelope. That's why we do things like Dare Theory and New Year's Eve. And we have our Renegades and bars, because we just want the onboarding ramp to be so easy for people. But I'll say this also, it makes it super challenging for us to get funding. Because when somebody looks at us from the outside, we just look like a social group, right? Yeah. And it's so much more than that, but that's what it looks like, and intentionally so, because we always want to show people the fun side of it. Because when you are in that place, you're not thinking about changing your life necessarily. You're just thinking, man, I just want to go out and have some fun. Hey, they see City Fam, they see the girls are pretty, or the guys are good looking. That makes them come out. Great, whatever it takes. We just want to get them out, get them around healthy people, and it's working. We're growing, and we are getting resources. Slowly, people are starting to understand what it is, because again, we're coming at the problem from a whole different angle from anything else I've ever seen. Yeah. So.
Yeah, which I really like. I mean, I follow it pretty closely. We've had people. On a Tuesday night when we're serving food actually OD right in front of us, and it's happened a handful of times, and when they're not overdosing, they're like, they've got the sway going on, and you can tell what's going on. So what you're doing is really amazing. It's incredible, and it's an angle that nobody's hitting on right now. Like, there's not anybody that's saying, hey, let's provide a place where there's a healthy peer pressure, where you might be in a bar, but everybody knows you're not going in there to get fall down drunk. Like, you have a couple drinks without losing your mind. But what the project that you're getting ready to get into, I'm really excited about, because I think it's going to be impacting for the community in ways that we can't yet see. So tell us what home is.
Yeah. I do want to mention one thing, because I know you got a lot of Anne Arundel County people on your page. So we're getting ready to launch City Fam in Anne Arundel County. We have our first event next Friday at Dave & Buster's over there at Arundel Mills. Yeah. So if anybody wants to come out, hang out, be around some people, a portion of the money's going to Sarah's house and Fort Meade, and we're going to go volunteer there a few weeks later. So if anybody wants to come out, socialize with us, serve with us, you can go to cityfam.com, sign up for that. It's going to be great. Home is, so thank you for asking. Yeah. Home is going to be a bar. Well, it's going to be a coffee shop / bar, but unlike any other coffee shop bar in the world, I say. First off, side note, I've been sober for 6 years. There are plenty of sober people in City Fam. I find that people that have a problem with drinking usually kind of figure it out once they get into the group, because there's a lot of people in City Fam that are going after their dreams and pursuing a goal or whatever, trying to become the best version of themselves is what we say. And if drinking stops you from becoming the best version of yourself, then check that. Let's get that figured out.
Don't let anything stand in your way.
Right. Exactly.
There's so much. Yeah.
So yeah, but we're not the sober group. We're not the Christian group. We want to keep the front door wide open for anybody, regardless of where they're at. We just want to get people in healthy community, and we want to go out, give them chances to go out and help other people, because that really is part of the process of becoming, of self-actualizing, is that now serving other people. So for us, home is going to be it's going to be a hub for City Fam. We're going to have, like I said, it's going to be a coffee shop by day, bar by night, but it's going to be a place of community where people can get around like-minded people. And the idea came from when I turned my life around those first 6 years. I just didn't know what to do or who to do it with. I went to church. I was going to church on Sundays, but
that's not enough.
Not much else.
One day a week.
The other 6.5 days a week, I stayed in by myself a lot. I went to the movies. The difference for me was I was waiting. I wasn't willing to date out of loneliness. That's what people do. And I've noticed when they're trying to get sober, when they're trying to make positive changes, they get super lonely and then they start dating. But that's not a good fix. That's not a long-term solution, I say over and over, because sometimes God, or however you want to look at it, maybe you call it the universe, wants to take you through a process of becoming a better version of yourself before he brings you Mr. or Mrs. Right.
Yeah.
But you can't do it alone.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right.
I tried. I went 6 years. I was abstinent for 6 years, from 2000 to 2006. Anybody that knows me before 2000 knows how bad I was. I was so determined to change. I was literally abstinent for 6 years. And then I went back because I just could not stand the lifestyle anymore. I couldn't make it by myself. I did go to church on Sunday, but they didn't have, it wasn't like Epic. It didn't have that healthy community. If they did have small groups, they didn't talk about it. So eventually I went back, and that's when I really started picking up my bad habits. So home is going to be a place that opens 7 days a week, where you can go be around some good people, find that support that you need, have a good time. If you like to drink a beer, drink a beer. There'll be live music there. There'll be karaoke. We're going to take a portion of all the money. We're going to give it back to local charities. We're going to facilitate opportunities for our customers to go and serve those nonprofits. We're going to have life coaching, quarterly seminars where people can discover their purpose and get a vision for their life and start. It's basically going to be a place to become the best version of yourself, but it's going to be in a social setting so that you can actually enjoy the journey. Because if you don't enjoy it on some level, you'll go back. It has to be somewhat enjoyable, or
it really does.
Yeah.
And we don't have to cut off having fun,
right,
when we want to start doing the better thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's an aspect that I didn't understand, that I'm glad you're kind of emulating, so people understand that. But one of the things that I'm really excited about is they're doing a membership drive. And they're looking for people who are willing to give, I think, $25 a month, somewhere in there.
We actually just put in a $10 level yesterday, just because some people might not have it, and we don't. There's certain benefits like the life coaching that we want to kind of just give to everybody. So we have, for $10, $25, or $40 a month, people will get a membership to City Fam and Home. They'll get certain perks like access to our events, discounts on apparel, parking, all kinds of things. You can go to homebaltimore.net or cityfam.com, either website, you can find it.
And the part that I'm looking forward to, when you're a $25 member, you can kind of go there and work from there. I mean, I think anybody's welcome to go work from there, sit down at a coffee shop, get some work done. But the membership, I think you open up a couple things like you can have a meeting there, you could schedule one of your rooms there. Yeah. So being that we're not, a real consistent, solid place, I know that I have friends that do that too. If we could just get the pastors in this area to skip Starbucks and come here, it'd be fine. Like pastors, we know you're there. We know you're there right now. So I think they've got a really good thing that's coming up, and I hope you guys will dig into it a little bit more than what we're able to do in this time and in this video. But when we're wrapping up, is there anything that you wish we would have got into that we didn't?
No, the one last thing I was just thinking that I want to explain home is, not only will it be a great place for, you or, depending on who it is that's watching this, like you to go, but we all have those friends that need help, right? Maybe they need to go to AA or NA. Maybe they need church. Maybe they need something, but you can't get them to those places. I know the pain. I know that problem. But you could get them to a bar. And if in that bar there were some people that had their act together that were going somewhere that actually loved on them a little bit. Guess what? That's when magic would happen, and they would start to work through their problems. And that's what it is for us. It's like, let's meet people where they are. Let's stop trying to get them to, because they don't go to AA until everything falls apart, or NA, and they don't go to church until they're in a crisis, or they don't go for those. But let's not wait for that. That's a bad strategy. Home is going to be a place that meets people where they are and helps them work through their mess before they hit rock bottom, because they may never hit rock bottom.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Some people never hit it. They just kind of teeter along, and they never hit their...
You could spend your entire life and not ever do what you were created to do. 100%. And I just want to encourage you, like, if this is resonating with you, if you're hearing something in here, get involved and find out what it's all about. Like, I think you and I both go to the same life coach, Lori Lockamy. She's really amazing. Shameless plug. She's helped both of us so much kind of put into action the things that were inside of us that we didn't really know what to do with. So, you know, in this environment of home, you're going to be around the right kind of people. You're going to have access to anything that anybody would want that would keep them from coming there. You're going to have access to life coaching and a lot of other things too. The big thing that I'm pushing though is we've got to get real with one another. You know, we've got to take the stigma away from the things that we're dealing with, and we've got to be open about it. And you know, if any of you guys are watching, send us inboxes through whatever medium you're watching. Tell us what's going on. We want to talk with you. We want to help you in any way we can.
One last thing to add is, like he said, we're in the middle of a membership campaign. None of this is going to happen without members. So right now, just so you guys know, City Fam, we've been fortunate enough to get a couple good-sized donations just in the last 10 days from 2 members, made sizable, $5,000 donations. So that's huge for us. But in order for us to pull this off, we're doing a membership model. We need 300 members by July 1st in order for us to go to the owner and show him and give him the confidence that he needs to give us the building. It's a big space. It's, you know, it's going to change the game. It's not only for City Fam, but for Baltimore, and we even believe beyond Baltimore, because we believe when people come here and they see this place, they're going to be like, wow, this place is incredible.
Right.
I need to open one where I'm from, and then they go back to their town and we teach them how to do it. And like, really, it's just going to be a hospital for the broken in a lot of ways. But we need members. So homebaltimore.net, if you can get involved, even on a $10 level, we need you. We still need a lot of members, and we have less than 10 days to get there, or none of this that we just talked about happens. So if you believe in us, you know, all the money from membership will be going to pay for the rent and eventually the mortgage. None of it goes toward salary. I don't get paid from City Fam. Never have gotten paid over 3 years. It goes towards getting the building, getting the space. So if you're able to financially give. If you can just pray. If you can share this video, share the video. If you have access to a group of people, a small group, a Celebrate Recovery, or you know, your home group or whatever it is, I'd love to come and talk with them and share the idea. We just need to get the word out. We need support. We need members. Homebaltimore.net. If you believe in what we're saying, please go there and become a member.
Yeah, man, I really believe in you. I love you. I think you're doing good work. And it's exciting to be in the same city, pulling for the same team.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Man. Love you too. All right, peace out, guys.
See you guys. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and
you're gonna finish up.
Finish. Tell you guys really quickly. I wanted to just kind of end it with a couple updates on home. So we wanted to say yes, we instituted a $10 level this week. So you can go to the homebaltimore.net and find out more about that. Just on a personal note, the book is done. I'm so excited. It was 1.5 years. It took me to write it. Very painful process, but it's done. I sent it out to a few people to just kind of give me their last minute opinion before I go ahead and publish it. And I'm excited. Things are moving. I'm tired. You know, I've said in a post recently, I feel like I'm having a baby. Like, I've given birth, because it's just been so hard. You know, not enough sleep. I'm tired. You know, not enough resources to do anything that we're doing. But somehow, some way, you know, it's happening by the grace of God. So, thank you guys. Thank you for everybody that's out there supporting, pulling for us. You know, we got a great team of volunteers here. working Orioles games, you know, we get a portion of the money over there. People are giving. We got members that have stepped up and made donations to the cause, and without them, we just couldn't do it. We don't have any outside funding. We've never gotten a grant from anyone. The government's never given us any money. The city's never given us any money. Our members are making this magic happen. It's only them that's doing it. So thank you guys. I appreciate the support. We couldn't do it without you. Love y'all. See you.
How long was that? That was a lot longer. Oh, you're still on.
That's okay.